Okay, so, there you are. Hi there, this is Chris Theodore. So I'm going to talk about this idea, why Lex Fridman is like the New York Times. Why is Lex Fridman similar to the New York Times? First, both are absolutely vested in the status quo. Second, both provide compelling content and by educated people, where we get to hear or see, in the case of the New York Times, incisive commentary, right? And yet, in both instances, there is a moral failing through what is omitted in that content. So in the case of Lex Fridman, if you'll notice, what is the constant common denominator, along with the incisive and intelligent commentary? And in the New York Times, what is this same common denominator? It is a sort of worship of access to power over making sure that the most vulnerable are actually heard. And oftentimes, if anything we know from history, the vulnerable are indicators of where the society is failing. And those who are championing the vulnerable or the powerless, these are the people who, a lot of times, history has a much better perspective of in terms of whether or not they were right. Both prize access to power over championing moral truth. And how they disguise that is very simple. You have interesting, powerful people who have, as the case with Benjamin Netanyahu, Donald Trump, have engaged in criminal activity. But as a result of, in the case of Donald Trump, American juries, he has continually lost cases of incredible importance. And yet, to Lex Fridman, he would argue that he is doing society somehow a favor by legitimizing someone like him. And also in the case of Benjamin Netanyahu, he has been found guilty of a plausible genocide by the institutions that we have in the world to determine justice and determine right from wrong. And yet, to Lex Fridman, this person should be platformed. He needs to have 2 hours or 3 hours to explain himself. So that, to me, demonstrates his allegiance to access to power, to a kind of a worship of power, and wanting to have access to that and his own platform for the betterment of his own platform over any sort of moral responsibility, right? And that is unfortunate.